What's up guys, welcome back for another Yugioh Pro Duel video. New Cyber Angel support, couple of new cards, a couple of them are in the main deck, the others, I think two of the new cards are in the main deck, the other twos I think aren't that fantastic, so let's take a look. The first one, they got a new ritual monster, Izana. I think it's just a one-off in the main deck, level 8, and very appropriately it pops. Well, it forces your opponent to send one spell or trap on their side of the field to the graveyard upon ritual summon, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess that's cool. Again, just a one-off in your main deck, right? Incantation is here in the main deck, and the same thought process I had before with, you know, Necros, and again just running the full Incantation engine here with you know, 60 cards, right? I added in triple Mega Zaborg is if you can get it off, I mean, Antis pop, triple Surge off of Herald, right? Definitely options. You can run like a fusion card with your Chimera or Rafflesia or something like that in your extra deck. Definitely all options. They also got the new Destiny Draw, kind of like a Destiny Draw, like Tribute, for example, a Cyber Angel from your hand to draw 2 cards and then send something back to the bottom of your deck from your hand. But it, you know, as I mentioned before, it reads Tribute, so you can tribute something like Ben 10, draw 2, send something back, and then get a Ben 10 search. So again, quite good cards, especially for the archetype. Although it has a small restriction, that as soon as you activate your Cyber Angel, Destiny Draw, the new card, you cannot special summon other monsters other than Cyber Angels, I believe, or Ritual Summon. I believe it's Ritual Summon. So that's a small bummer that you have to keep in mind, right? They also got like a small low-level monster, which again searches upon, I believe, upon summon, but I don't think you have to run that. And also a new continuous spell which protects your Cyber Angels from being destroyed by battle, but I'm not really sure about that. You might want to main deck like 1 or something, but not really sure, right? It's just, I think you're better off to run a full Impcantation / Deviritual engine, as you probably saw, or might have seen in the Necros video, right? Although at least one of the biggest problems I still have with Cyber Angels compared to the last time I've played with them has been like a long time, but is that they are still lacking a huge boss monster. And as you saw in the quote-unquote side deck, okay, you can run stuff like Herald of Perfection and play like a grinding game, pretty much go full floodgate, right? Same for Christia, but still the Cyber Angel archetype doesn't really have like a huge boss monster with like a very powerful floodgate effect, force your opponent to, well, you know, discard cards or pop multiple cards, especially during your opponent's turn, for example, right? Nope, that's something that the archetype still lacks, even though, you know, Incantation adds in so many searching possibilities, so many potential pluses for the archetype. So the deck definitely has potential, but still lacks a good boss monster. And I mean, Mega Zaborg gives you a lot of searches for the most obvious reasons, but it's quickly stopped by a hand trap, right? Impermanence, for example. But still, I mean, multiple pops, multiple searches, and of course the Incantation monsters are just easy tribute fodder on your side of the field to be tributed for Mega Zaborg. So I think your Mega Zaborg can definitely have a place, if not a 3 here in the deck. Special summon I believe it's Izana, you know, forcing out your opponent's back row, at least one of them, right? Your opponent has to send one of them, at least one of the spells and traps they control, to the graveyard, so in this case it eventually, well, worked out fine. Eventually I can just attack for a game. As you saw, again, 60 cards, right? I think that's it might sound strange, but it feels the most optimal way, well, running well over 40, that is, but you might want to cut it down to 50 cards maybe, but again, it's just the Incantation engine running pretty much all of them at 3 bar. I think the Ritual at 2, but I think you can definitely bump it up to 3, right? It's all up to you. Christia, as I mentioned before, is one of those boss monsters that's easy searchable off of your band 10, and it's just like you can easily, you know, very easily drop it to your side of the field and just leave it to your opponent, like, here you go, just deal with it, and if you can't deal with it, you can pretty much win the game. And let's not forget the Cyber Angel. It is one of the Cyber Angel ritual spells, does have that built-in protection effect like Void Seer, so keeping your Christia on the field, again, can be very important against your opponent's deck. Basically any deck special summons, right? But Impermanence is still quite of an important card against something like Christia, but Christia is that boss monster that currently Cyber Angel are somewhat lacking, right? Anyway, keeping Christia on my side of the field, having multiple answers, right, Impermanence, yeah, the good stuff, pretty much staple in most of my builds, right, with Edge Blossom, Impermanence, the Ghost Ogre, those standard traps slash hand traps that can basically go into any deck, just draw into them with, and that's something that, you know, the deck currently has with, you know, is it called Sextant? You know, the quote-unquote other Destiny draw, like send any level 6, either on your side of the field or from your hand back to the deck, I believe bottom the deck, and draw 2, yeah, here it is. So the deck basically runs like 6 Destiny draws, again quite nifty, definitely very solid. Playing against the Thunder Dragons, I think one of this deck's hardest matchups because of the Super Bolt preventing those searches, double Bantan in hand, and still this deck's first turn play, if it doesn't involve like a huge floodgate as in Christia or maybe Herald, I'm not really sure if I want to run the Ritual Herald with Impcantation slash Deviritual, but if you can't do something like that, well, what is it called, the level 8 Dankini, you know, get something back during the end phase, that's not really that strong, right? If you can compare it to, let's say, Gogi, Thunder Dragons, which can pump out multiple big boss monsters and floodgates against your opponent, so but yeah. Anyway, so there's definitely a solid field from my opponent, preventing the searches, and Lone Wolf, again one of those new cards, definitely a solid addition for Thunder Dragons, immediately banishing something from the hand and also from the deck, gaining those extra searches, and the great effect of Lone Wolf is also quite important, right? I think if the opponent destroys it by battle, you can get something back, so solid card. Anyway, need another duel. I think I'm forced to use Call by the Grave here to negate the Ash Blossom, but as you see, I draw into my own, and Ash Blossom is such a crucial card against Thunder Dragons, so that's one less hand trap I can use against my opponent's engine. And I only have the Impermanence. Impermanence is very important. Maybe I should have kept it in hand, might sound strange, but I mean, well then again, it does have a very solid hand with the Batteryman. Solid opener. It's going for the, what is it called, Vacation, you know, the lovely Thunder Dragon stuff. The Lord, not Titan, I believe Titan now is a TCG name, will eventually force out Impermanence and basically lose Impermanence here. Well, yeah, again, Impermanence quite important against the Super Bolt, prevented the searches, and yeah, okay, draw, what is it called, Pen Silver, but it's not going to matter too much. I think I'm forced to banish both ritual spells here, but the fact that this Super Bolt Fusion Thunder Dragon card does have the built-in protection effect without, you know, forcing yourself to banish something like the ritual spell here in his, I mean, he does have pretty much infinite fodder for his Super Bolt to be banished, right? So basically impossible for me to get over unless I well, if Impermanence or maybe a Kaiju. Yeah, Kaiju might sound interesting, right? But anyway, last example, going first, I think, again, getting those multiple searches, again, Incantations, and the normal summon of my new Senju are the Cyber Angel level 2 one, right? Going for the Link Summon first, since eventually I will be able to, again, search out Christia. I set up Christia thanks to the Link Summon eventually. Going for the Dankini, I believe it's named, that will set up 4 fairies indeed, or I believe so, and eventually drop Christia as well. Again, just drop the floodgate and tell your opponent here, deal with it, and if you're not able to deal with it, you should be able to win a duel. He does have a couple of outs, Torrential Tribute, nah, Solemn Strike isn't really an out, Ghost Ogre not, no, Torrential Tribute is basically his only option, I guess, but again, having that ritual spell in the graveyard definitely helps. I'm not going to banish it here. Again, I do know the fact that it does run triple Torrential Tribute, and I want to keep Christia on the field as long as possible, right? Using the quote-unquote one of the Destiny draws, try to get those 2 draws. Again, very good that the Incantation monsters, one of them is, again, very appropriately level 6. So again, things go together, right? Torrential Tribute, just banish indeed, just banish the ritual spell and eventually attack for games. So like always, feel free to leave suggestions. Again, I'm not really sure if I want to run Impcantation at a 40 card dot deck, but 50 cards might be possible. Well, you can maybe slim down the Impcantation engine, maybe drop like Mega Zoborg or drop Mega Zoborg as a whole, but I think it's okay, especially for this archetype, right? But yeah, again, that's again up to you. So like always, feel free to leave suggestions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.